Oh, hello. How are you today? I am Justin, the Jersey gardener. And I was just watering my roses. So, we're going to make a video today about turning a old metal garbage can into a raised bed. Come on, let me show you the metal garbage can. So, this is the can we're going to be using today. And as you can see, it's fairly old and rusted, but it doesn't matter because it's going to serve its purpose for growing what we're going to want to grow. If you take a close-up in here, you'll notice that we used it just to burn branches and such. So it's a lot of ash in there, which is going to be good for the nutrients of the plant. And that's what we like to call the potash. So it's a little bit old and rusted, but no big deal. But while we're on the subject of this area, we're going to show you a little bit of something. Hold on, Stella. Let's get a good throw for the dog here. All right. So just before we continue, let me show you my string beans. They're looking really good today. Oh, wow, look at that. They're really coming up nicely there, huh? And I built this nice trellis here so they can climb up. And I'm even thinking, if it goes really well, we'll have it climb up here and across this doorway. So it'll be like a string bean doorway. So back to this drum, the first thing we're gonna do before we do any planting in here is we're gonna need to drill some holes because we're gonna allow for drainage. So keep with me and I'll show you soon when we start to drill it. Oh, you're back, okay, great. So I drilled the holes on the raised bed already, and I'd love to tell you what size drill bit I use, but I don't really know. But it's about yay big, and you can see the holes that I've drilled out over here. So this is a really tough industrial can, which is good, so it'll last a long time. And I only just drilled a couple of holes. I didn't really go crazy, and then there's one at the bottom too. So put this down here for now. We'll show you soon. We're gonna leave all this stuff in here because this is all organic matter and also potash mixed with some compost. So we should be okay. There's a good starter mixture. And we're gonna go bring this over to where we're gonna put it, and then we're gonna fill it, and we'll show you how to fill it and what we're gonna fill it with. And then at the end of the video, we'll show you what we're gonna plant. Okay? So stay tuned, we'll be right back. All right, guys, so we have the garbage can in place, and I didn't get a chance to really show you how the holes were drilled, but I'm gonna show you later. But right now, I wanna show you how we're gonna be filling the can with stuff that we have for free and laying around the garden in the house, so we don't have to waste money and fill it all with good soil. A lot of it can be used as backfill and just stuff you find around the house. So in this particular case, I have this old piece of firewood that's been sitting out for a really long time, and it got a good use of the bugs out of it and all the microbes and stuff, which is going to be really good nutrients for what we're going to plant inside of the garbage can. Well, the raised bed now. So if I flip this over, you'll be able to notice a lot of the really good stuff here. There's worms, little roly-polies, a lot of real good stuff. And you can see how it was eaten away here with all the holes and stuff. So this is going to be one of the first things we throw in. And you see before the potash was inside and stuff like that. So welcome to New Jersey, and we'll be back in a few minutes. Welcome back. So we have our pot in place, a large garbage can. Let me just explain to you a little bit why we're using this. You have things laying around your house. You may not use them all the time. You may get some good use out of it. You may be able to grow something, and that's always a good thing. So in this particular case, we use this garbage can. Welcome to New Jersey. We use this garbage can for start fires, but we no longer need it, and it's not necessary anymore. So we're not going to be using it. We'll put it to better use and grow something in it. So I'd like to give actually a shout out to Mark from Self Sufficient Me. What's up, Mark? How are you? I love your videos. So a lot of the things that I've learned were from him, and that's a really good thing. So this can here we're going to use, and we're going to just show how to fill it with stuff laying around. So I have it all here. We have our tree stump that we previously looked at with the full of great worms and dirt and microbes and everything else that will be great benefits for the soil and for the plants, and as it breaks down it'll be good nutrients also for the plants. And I'm not gonna show you what we're gonna plant just yet because we're keeping it a secret for later in the video, so stay tuned for that. So some other things here before we start filling it, I'll show you. I mentioned earlier that we were going to show you the holes that we drilled. Now keep in mind that they're only on the bottom for drainage, so they're really not all over the can. Otherwise you'd have things dripping out all over the place. So it's really just at the bottom and underneath. And I think I looked at the hello Stella. Oh, good Stella. Yay. So really the holes are only on the bottom, okay? And also thank you to my wife who's filming this video. Hi Gabby. Hello. Okay, so some of the things we're going to throw in here is, first we saw the potash that was inside. Right? It's really just a bunch of muck and ash that was from previous fires, but it's really good nutrients. And then we have a pile of leaves over here that is just left over from around the garden area and the whole around the house. We have the tree stump, and it's always a good idea if you got some branches, throw these in. So what I'm going to do is throw the branches in first. I'm going to cut them up and throw them inside. Then I'm going to put the tree stump. The tree stump's going to act as a filler, but it's also going to add, as it breaks down, the nutrients, and it's going to with everything that's living inside of it, with the worms and the roly-polies and whatever, all that shit is going to break down as well. Then on top of that, I'm going to put the leaves. The leaves are going to break down. It's going to turn into humus. It's going to be really good, and it's going to turn into a good compost for whatever it is that's going to be planted in there. That's going to be another layer. And over here, we have our final layers. This is a mixture of peat moss and potash and blood and bone, also with a little bit of straw. So you can see the straw, you can see that it's very loose and very nice, and this is the good stuff you want on the top. You don't want to fill the whole can with this because you're just wasting it. A little bit of the potash there, that's really good stuff there. And the blood and bone you can't see, but that's in there. Here's some of the peat moss. You can see the darker stuff. That's really nice. That's all a good mixture of stuff we're gonna put all in there. And then here is Texas tea, black gold. You can see the feathers. This is from the chicken coop. This is all the manure and the broken down matter that was in the chicken coop. We have some feathers. We have some leftover corn cob peels. That's really good there. Let's see what else we got here. That's good stuff. Some sticks. All left over from the chicken coop. You want to take a quick look at the chicken coop. It's right behind us here. I built that by hand, but we'll go into that. That's for another video. So that's going to be the final layer. So I'll do all this and I'll show you once it's done, and then we'll show you what it is that we plant in there, and we'll have it all ready for you in a little while. So stick with us and we'll be right back. Hello, so we were going to show you the finished product, but we decided to show you some steps along the way. And we talked about how we were going to have the potash at the bottom, and then the branches next. So we're doing that now. We're filling it with the branches. You can see just basically just cutting them in there, and that's going to add a nice layer of sticks and that'll help with the drainage with the holes on the sides. So it's really good, and it's just free stuff. As you can see, we got a lot of it here. There's just a ton of stuff all over the place, and I don't necessarily try to kill all the trees that I have living around my house, but it's so overgrown that it's beautiful stuff. It's beautiful stuff to use. We either burn it, we plant it, we bury it, we use it as compost, we burn it for potash. It's all great stuff. And in this particular case, even the sticks that break apart, we just have it, we just throw it right in there, and it's going to be wonderful stuff. That's going to be your first layer. Well, the first layer was the original potash we had with the can, and we did backyard fires. But now the second layer is going to be the sticks. So I'm almost done with that, which is nice. So I'm going to put this down here. The next layer is going to be this tree stump here. And I'm thinking about which side do I want to put it on. I have the side that was all rotten here with the dirt, or I have the side that's not so rotten at the bottom. And you can see this really big hole in the middle, which is really cool. And you can see how it was all eaten away by the worms and everything. I even see a little bit of mushrooms growing there, which I don't know what they are, but that's kind of cool too, right? So I'm thinking I'm going to put it in upside down like this inside, which would be, I'm guessing here, I don't know really what it is that I should be doing, but all I know is I'm going to be planting something good, and it's going to be a filler for before I start using the real stuff. The chicken manure and the compost with the peat moss and blood and bone. Blood and bone, you can buy it on Amazon. You can get it anywhere at your local stores these days. I don't know if you're going to stores or not. Not everybody is. I personally am not, so I buy it on Amazon. Blood and bone is really good. The fertilizer for anything that you planted. So we'll go ahead. We'll get this in the pot. Okay. Ooh, that was a lot there. So I'm gonna straighten it out, right? And that's gonna be a really good filler, because now all we need is the top layer of what it is we're gonna put in there. Because remember, what we're planting in there, and it's a secret for now, but it's gonna be something really juicy. So I'm saving it for last. The next thing we're gonna put in there is the leaves. So we have plenty of those. And it's just a matter of throwing the leaves in there, getting them all into the sides, and move it around with your hands, get it all down in there. And that's just to fill the can, because we're trying not to take up too much space with the chicken manure and the good stuff, the stuff that's really got, you know, the expensive stuff. So we're putting in this, and this isn't bad either. This is all organic matter. This is all good stuff that's going to provide nutrients throughout the plant's life, and it's going to really do a good job over time. Just filling in all the voids here. So we'll get it all in there now. And it's staying there, right? And as it breaks down over time, it's going to settle. And we'll just go ahead and we'll add a little bit more stuff on top. I also have some straw that I bought on Amazon also. So we could use leaves. We could chop them up. We could use the compost. I have a compost bin back there. We'll show you that later. That's for another video. So for now, we have enough leaves in there. May add just a little bit more. Okay. So that's good. And we'll put that over there. All right. Put it all in there. All right. So now we have our this is the chicken manure. Then this is some really good stuff in here. This is a lot of good stuff. I think I saw some pumpkin pieces, or even here's a piece of cabbage. That's really good. right? We can dig in there. There's a lot of good things in there. It's really nice. This is the good stuff. Can't buy this in the store. Well, actually you can, but I don't know how good it is. But first we're gonna start with the blood and bone and the peat moss. We'll start there and give it a good layer of this stuff. So this is gonna be our first layer, okay? Do a couple more shovels of that. And now keep in mind the peat moss and the blood and bone, I bought both, even the straw, I bought all on Amazon. Everything came from Amazon. So this is, I'm not getting paid from Amazon. This is not a disclosure for Amazon, but I'm just showing you how easy it is to get everything here. The leaves were for free. They came from the backyard. The tree stump was free. That came from the backyard. But you order it online, you can get a lot of this stuff from online and stuff. So it's really good stuff. So that's your blood and bone. That's your blood and bone. You got some leaves in there. And the potash, right? That's your potash there. And the straw, which is really good. That's gonna be our almost last layer. Okay, now we're gonna do the chicken manure. This is gonna be one of our final layers of compost. She got some feathers in there, which is really good. We'll do another video another time for the chickens. We have the chickens over there. We'll do another video on that. Actually, while you're here, let's look at those sweet potatoes that we just planted today. This is really good. A friend of ours gave this pot to us, and I just planted these sweet potatoes. So we'll give you an update on that another time. I'm just keeping this on there. We're going away for the weekend, so we don't want to dry it out. So we have the chicken manure in there, and that's a good amount. I don't want to waste too much. I don't want to waste too much because it's difficult to get, but we do have a lot of it, but we'll do that for now. And then I'll show you what we're gonna do after this. We're gonna come back. We're gonna put some straw down, and then we're gonna finally tell you what we're gonna plant in here, which is gonna be really exciting because I've never planted this stuff before in my life, and I heard it's really good, and I'm so excited to plant it, and I'm really looking forward to it. So let's take a break for now, and we'll come right back. Hello everybody, we're back. We're just about ready for the final grand finale of what we're gonna plant. I know you've all been waiting for it, and we have the raised bed just about ready. Our old garbage can with the holes. We started off with the potash. We got a tree stump in there with all the microbes, the rotting tree stump. Then we added a generous layer of leaves, and then we added some, from what we had was the peat moss, and then mixed in with blood and bone, also potash and some straw mixed together. That was my own concoction. And then the next thing we put on top of that was the chicken manure that we got from the chicken coop, which is a mixture of a lot of things, but it's really good stuff. Now we have it all together in the pot. We're gonna put it in its position, and we're gonna do the final stages and you'll finally see what it is that we're planting, which is really nice. Let me get this in position, and we'll be good to go. I'm putting this in this spot here. We do get a decent amount of sun here. I plan on trimming some of this stuff so we get more sun, but because it is a garbage can, I don't want to put it in the front area where people can see it because it might be an eyesore. But it is serving a purpose, which is good. So now that we have it in place, we have it right where we want it. I'll do some trimming of the branches later. We're gonna have our final finale is I bought these seeds online. These are perpetual spinach, also known as Egyptian spinach, also known as, I can't read what it says, I don't know what it says. It says Malakia seeds, I think, but it's good. And it's supposed to be really good. It's supposed to be really resilient. It's supposed to grow all season long. This, I'd love to say all year long, but we live in New Jersey, so we get a really cold winter. So hopefully this does really well. I'm gonna open this up here and see what we have inside. These are Egyptian spinach seeds. So, wow, look at that. That looks really cool. I've never seen anything like that before. But we're gonna plant all of them. We're gonna do the crowd growing method, which means we plant everything, and this is the only thing that's going to be in this bed, so it's not going to be susceptible to weeds because it's not on the ground, it's high up, which is really good. So we're going to have all of this in there, and it's going to go really well. So we'll just cut this open and we'll be able to plant everything there, and it's going to do very good, hopefully. So we'll give it a go here. So we have our chicken manure and everything. I'm just gonna do a little bit of ruffling up. We'll get the seeds in the hand. We'll just sprinkle it around in there. This is gonna be all that's in this thing. So it's gonna be all right. That's all we have in there. For the final step, one last step is going to be, we're going to add some of our, also bought online, and I love this stuff. It works very well. I have it on the sweet potatoes here. I'll show you some other areas. It holds everything together. It holds water. It's really well with everything, and it makes everything come together very nicely. I'll put this down here. Sprinkle it all around. Jersey. I kind of like it. Some people may not like it, but I think it's kind of cool. Makes for the day go by pretty well. So now that we have everything here, it's good. Everything's set. We're gonna give it a good watering, and that'll be the final step. Let me get the hose. We got the hose, okay. Got Stella running after the ball over there. All right, so final stage is to just water everything here, give it a good watering. Now remember, we have a lot of things in here. Leaves, branches, chicken manure, peat moss, potash, blood and bone. We're giving this perpetual spinach, Egyptian spinach, a really good start. It's going to have a really good start. It's going to have a lot of nutrients, a lot of good things. I hope to see this grow really well. We're going to trim a little bit of this here to give it some more sun, but for now I think it's good. It's only seeds for now, so it's going to be okay. We may even do a little bit of painting on here to make it look a little bit nicer. I didn't want to have this in the front because it's a garbage can, but it's a really I really do love it, but some people may not like it. It's like a Harley Davidson show. Anyway, so we gave it a good water. We got a lot of good nutrients in here. We got everything going very well. If you look over here, in the back, you can actually see one of the drainage holes working very well. The water is just pouring out of there, which is really good. So that's a good sign. So everything's watered very nicely. We're going to come back to this later. We're going to show, hopefully, that it grows very, very high. I'm going to trim a lot of this. And this is supposed to be some really good resilient spinach, which is really nice. We'll show you the sweet potatoes also another time, and we got a lot of good videos coming up, so please stay tuned. This is our first one, so bear with us, but we're doing very well, and I think this is going to be great. So welcome to New Jersey. This is the Jersey Gardener, and we'll see you soon.